captured.
Well,
God
no,
damn
because
it.
it's
This
it's
is gonna piss me
basically
off, isn't it?
It totally is. It's
I
kind
knew
of
it.
like the whole Jesus footsteps thing. And then my son is when I carried you. It's kind of like that. And supposedly the story is that there's like two guys walking along the beach.
And one of
And
them's a starfish.
well, no, like one of them is
like it already.
picking shit up and like
Throwing
flinging it
starfish
back out into the
sea.
ocean. Right,
Yeah.
right, yes.
But I
Dang.
helped that starfish.
Yes! Yes.
I knew
And
it.
that was supposed to be like the whole inspirational thing where I worked. Like when I was there for 5 years, they gave me a starfish pin. Right. But my buddy Nick, who worked with me and who fucking hated starfish, was like, he was like, oh, made a difference to that one, but like meanwhile there's 25,000 and like why are we saving these fucking starfish anyway? Like they eat all the shellfish, they suck. He's like, if I find them in the ocean, I hurl them onto the beach.
That's brilliant.
Oh God.
And that's our solution to fascism.
Hurl them onto the beach.
Just let them
Yeah.
go. Let the pelicans have them.
If a bunch of them find themselves
never
beached
rest.
on shore, we'll just watch the sun bake them.
We'll
right,
never
it's,
rest until every
Oh.
Nazi dies.
All right, guys.
Speaking-
Attention, everyone. Attention,
Yes.
attention, 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 attention,
People play.
everyone.
The titties?
Attention,
I'm ready.
attention.
The titties.
City's at the ready.
In the
Got it.
chat, we now have the Sundown Town map.
Oh boy.
Dun,
Please
dun,
bring that up.
dun.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Hang on, let me put the
Myself
wrench
in
down.
genitals.
This feels pertinent.
You're putting Rand down.
Oh shit, I didn't realize that the actual motorcycle skeleton was in the chat.
Yeah. That's what I'm working on right now.
Oh my, it looks like an industrial grasshopper.
It kind of is.
Busted down like that, it looks like something you would see
You know what?
flying at you and attacking you in a fucking anime.
Its
Credit
name.
where credit is due. There's an awfully large shortage of sundown towns in my general vicinity. I'm kind of happy with that.
Shortage!
That's what we're going to be talking about here. This map.
Actually.
I'm pretty. If I'm not in a sundown town, I'm really close.
All right, let's see.
Well, you can click and find out.
I was gonna say, like, is it like double click to like zoom?
You got to click a pin. You can like.
Oh no, double click actually does zoom in on.
Oh no.
Oh wait, what is that? What is that dot?
Oh.
Dividing Greek! Oh! Alloway! Oh, I got my fucking suspicions. I got my fucking suspicions.
I'm in Colorado, and even in southern Colorado, it just said there might have been Colorado Springs might have been a sundown town, but it doesn't even say anything about Pueblo, which really fucking surprises me.
But see, here...
This map is a gift. It's a gift directly
map,
from me.
This map is definitely a gift.
Let me talk about...
I am amused.
You've mentioned multiple times your general geographic location.
Oh, dude, I don't care. Like I've doxed myself
but,
a
like,
million times. It's totally fine.
Can I finish what I was gonna say?
Yes.
Part of my thing is I
got it. Don't mind
Colorado scarred me in a lot of ways that like I'm still fucking dealing with. And I'm kind of wondering if where that shit happened is in the same region. Because it's a big fucking state compared to where I grew up, you know. Like your state makes up like 4 of mine. But I think no. I ran into trouble way before I hit your neck. By the time I drove through your neck of the woods, I was white knuckling it, and because I had almost decided to walk away from my car and all of my belongings and like get a flight on like from the like local regional airport to somewhere more civilized and then back for where I was trying to go, because I was just like, I don't know if I can fucking do this.
Huh.
Oh, so yeah, so like your neck of the woods is way more civilized than the part where I had problems.
Yeah, so if you see Denver and you
Yeah.
go south until you almost hit New Mexico, I'm kind of like halfway in between there.
Wait, so like the map mentions Pueblo.
Yeah, which is south of Colorado.
Right. Like, so are you further south than that?
No, I'm in Pueblo. I'm at the very south end of Pueblo.
But no, but like here's the thing. You are in the home of the right to the government for information people.
Oh, I know there is a local hate group here called the
No. There were these ads on TV, and like also there used to be a thing like before the internet was a thing.
What?
You could buy these like books or magazines or whatever that like told you like where to find free stuff. And Pueblo, Colorado was the mailing address where a lot of government like public interest publications came out. And so there were ads with a guy that was supposed to look like halfway in between like a lawyer and the Riddler. And he would be like, "Oh, send for your free information. P.O. Box, blah, blah, blah. Pueblo, Colorado, blah, 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 blah." And that was a thing. Like you would send like a self-addressed stamped envelope and get all kinds of shit.
Pueblo, Colorado.
Pueblo, Colorado, blah, 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 blah. Like whatever the zip code was.
That's funny.
Whatever the zip code is.
That is
Blah, 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 blah.
Wait, where is the town? I gotta figure out like what town traumatized me. Like now that I'm talking about it.
There's truly a Juniper line.
Just to be clear, an awful lack of shortage of sundown towns near me, and I don't hate it. Care to comment on that, Dan?
Well,
they might
Yeah,
have gotten got.
Dan's laying up in the cut. What the fuck is up with that? Like, what, you hiding? What's going on there?
What? You guys are talking. It's fine. I don't need to talk.
are you feeling any better, Dan?
Not really.
What happened?
My bowels are just ripping me up. I don't know. Let's hear about the sundown towns. I want to get to the pie. I want to get to the pie.
Well,
the map is in the chat.
So I went over on the Pacific Northwest of the United States, and I was surveying something, and I see a flag, and if you look at the map key in the upper left-hand corner, a flag is a town of special interest.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well, apparently it's a town of special interest. They have more information. And okay, so I say that knowing that some of those Pacific Northwest states were settled for the express purpose of like making sure black and brown people didn't live there. So I see
Oh,
that
100%.
one, but then my eyes cast down to Oregon, Southern Oregon, like right near the border. There's 2 flagged towns, and then
Oh yeah.
the
do you
top
remember?
of California
Do you remember the
is
origins
in this
of?
screen, and I see several that well, and I'm saying yes, I know about Oregon and Washington's racist past. I'm just saying, like, I feel a little sparkly because none of the flags are the places where I lived, where I was feeling some kind
Mikey.
of way, a little icky, but at least I didn't live in a flag town and not know it.
Well, I'm shocked because look at South Dakota. It's pretty fucking fair too, and like that place is a fucking red
There's no one in South
red
Dakota.
hell.
They didn't need to have a sundown town. No black person in the world has ever been like, you know where I'm moving to? South Dakota.
That's true. God damn.
There still are no
Yeah.
black people there entirely by their own volition.
Right.
Yes.
It's all because
I
some
mean,
white asshole adopted them.
Considering, and actually it's funny if you look at the dots like on South Dakota, oh, there's a couple on like the Wyoming border. Like, what the fuck? Who? No human being wants to be there, and you want to pretend that you don't have a bigger population because like you only allow like Wonder Bread people. Like, what? Oh, our population is low because we're an exclusive club. The fuck? What?
Well, the population's low because it's in the like all of South Dakota is in the middle of fucking nowhere. Because you see how big it is? Like, I don't even think it's got 1 million people in it yet.
Well, no.
So,
I
I mean,
do
they're
have
all
to
spread out through all of that shit. And yeah, of course, it's all fucking
hey,
white.
but for a second, I don't know if the map key is accurate because they're talking about like black towns or townships. I'm looking at this map, right? There are clearly a lot more black towns or townships than what is represented on this. Can we agree on that?
I think it's just the ones they're aware of.
No, but I'm just saying, like, this map would seem to indicate that there's a whole lot of places where black folk ain't allowed to live, but not that many places where they live. And I can assure you, black and brown people like do indeed exist in these United States.
So what are we Dan, tell me what are we supposed to glean from this?
Well, no, MJP is the one that posted it. Like, so.
Oh, because Dan said to look at it. I'm sorry, MJP.
No,
MJP,
I just said I wanted to because I'm feeling sick, so I want something to focal point on.
You're totally fine. MJP.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something we're supposed to focus in on here?
Oh, no, just in general. Just drink it in. Okay. First off, one thing I noticed is there's a lack of sundown towns in the South in very large swatches.
Ooh, yeah, like Texas doesn't have as many as I figured it would have.
Yeah, some suspicious there. And then surprisingly, Indiana and Illinois are rife.
Well, and Georgia doesn't have any, like, hardly.
Well,
What
because
the
they just
fuck?
shot him.
Nobody
Well, I mean, that's a
lived.
very good point.
Nobody lived through it to report it.
Yeah, can't get the sundown if you're already dead by the time you get there.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
isn't a
it's on-site.
sundown
It's an
town.
on-site
This is a
town.
24-hour town.
Yeah.
It's a
Steer
sun
clear.
up, sun down, sun up,
Yeah.
nighttime.
The sun
Yeah,
is shining and the streets are free of undesirables that makes it be.
Oh, that hate crime map, dude, in Wyoming. There was somebody there. Do you mind if I get?
No, go for it.
Yeah. You know?
maybe they were freaked out by the way
There
that
we go.
you said that
No,
in
no,
a
no.
very porny way.
Did you say corny or horny? Because either way, I'm down.
I didn't say either. I said porny. Porny.
What
I don't even
It's
know
kind
what
of
that
like
means.
corny.
Who said something in a porny way now? They say, hold on, you got my interest. Keep going.
Anyways.
You did, Daniel.
What do you mean I
In
You did.
in Wyoming, they
Nani?
dragged a gay person behind a car and on a dirt gravel road, because you got to remember, like Wyoming, 90% of it's gravel
Are we
road.
talking about Matthew Shepard? No, that was.
I believe
Brandon
that's
Tina?
right.
Are we
No,
talking
not
about Brandon Tina or Matthew
No.
Shepard?
I think Matthew
Was-
Shepard, because that's the one that got his head decapitated by the culvert, right?
Mercifully, that's something that my brain refuses to like keep an accurate inventory of.
Well, that's great, but I'm pretty sure that that's the guy.
Okay.
Matthew guy is the guy that. What happened was, they turned a corner, he slid off, and if you don't know what a culvert is, it's that piece of pipe that usually runs kind of underneath the road that helps make so the water could go, underneath your road, so it doesn't wash out your road.
Yeah.
Yeah. His head hit, and I mean, like, yeah, we can all imagine metal, 50 miles an hour.
Metal indeed.
So yeah, that happened in Wyoming.
It's a very interesting second map you've put up there, NJP.
I'm going to ask you guys, you Pennsylvania comrades, how does this check out? How does this?
Does it just show Reading is nothing but hate crimes?
I don't know what
Okay,
Reading
so
is.
I'm looking at it.
No, it does not.
I'm trying to figure out like how to. Oh, now I'm.
But Allegheny County, dude.
Allegheny County's on it?
Yep.
Yeah, I believe
You gotta
that.
zoom in.
Oh well, I mean, and here's part of the problem. Like,
And
I mean, I'm looking at like my part.
very
of the
conveniently, Philadelphia.
I'm looking at my part of like the U.S. even, and also because remember, like I'm from a rural area nearby. You can't tell me there's no fucking hate crimes down there.
Again,
Ohio
this deals with reporting numbers too.
Right.
Ohio checks out.
Is that right?
All right. So I think.
Mm-hmm.
Franklin,
Okay.
Montgomery County?
According to this, in Philadelphia, like in the entire. And here's something. My more rural friends will understand why I feel the need to mention this. Philadelphia is not just a city, it's a county.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is a whole ass county.
Mm-hmm.
According to this map, in the entire city of Philadelphia, between 2015 and 2021, there were 21 hate crimes.
I'm gonna guess that this is
let's go
convicted.
back.
Don't know where they're getting these statistics. All I'm going to say, and here's the thing, this is the only blip in like like an hour radius. And I'm just thinking, that seems kind of low. Oh, wait, there's a little box here that says view only incidents that have been published. Let's click this box here, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh, it drops down real fast.
It's interesting because firsthand I can tell you they're missing anything done by the police.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, legal mobs don't get counted.
Right.
Why would you count the legal ones?
Because Columbus should be lit up like a fucking Christmas tree right now in that map.
Well, LA should be too.
Speaking of Columbus, I don't know if you guys know, but in 2020, one of the things that people mentioned was the big ass like Christopher Columbus statue that they got in like one of the big city parks here. And the fucking Gravy Seals were out there like trying to defend it.
Oh, they were fucking it.
Seals.
And so what happened was the city of Philadelphia, the city
Look at
of
this
Philadelphia.
very conveniently inverted map. Notice how New York much lighter color on this map.
Yeah, I was gonna say, police violence rated how?
Hey, MJP,
Hmm?
do me a favor. Do not go to Montana.
Or
MJP.
Wyoming, or Arizona.
I've
or
never
Mexico, or
planned to go
MJP.
there. So
I have a
For
white
real, don't go
card
to Colorado. Do
to
not.
go through any of those areas. If you want to go to any of those areas, just hit me up, man. We'll travel.
Hey,
No, that's not the point.
I stand by my decision. No black person has ever gone to the Dakotas still.
yeah, the police violence map shows that.
That's how you know.
Well, it's really funny
all I'm
because
saying is
the Hells Angels own a fucking city in South Dakota.
I trust the Hells Angels more than the cops.
No, well,
I mean they overlap, but I mean,
but they're super fucking racist, dude. Like massive racist. Like the reason why they bought scenic South Dakota, I'm sure, is because it used to be a headquarters for the KKK.
And you're saying that's somehow worse than cops?
No. I wouldn't say it's worse or better. I wouldn't call it that. Jesus,
no, I'm saying,
I don't
like,
know.
Honestly,
I guess the cops can put me in jail, so yes, the cops are worse. At least the worst thing that
anything that a cop does to you is going to get swept under the rug via qualified immunity. At least if a Hells Angels like person is the one to do you in, there's a chance that they might be held accountable.
Well, and like
slim, but there.
They might rape me and kill me, but they're not going to throw me in prison for no fucking reason. So I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like like
why not?
Bear.
I mean, I'm not worried about the cops imprisoning me, because here's the thing, and this is, people are like, oh, know the Constitution. Oh, no, know your rights. Well, here's the thing about rights. You can argue that they've been violated, but when the reality is that there are armed people who are telling you to comply, it's kind of an academic point unless you're going to take it to court.
Look, I'm an absolute anarchist when it comes to the cops. Okay, fuck them. But if I was going to get arrested, or if somebody was going to be like, step out of the car, you're getting arrested, or whatever, I'm not fighting it. because
No, but that's exactly the point that I'm making. Is
Yeah.
because, like, like I said, like when shit happened in Colorado, like I'm standing there in like the fucking gully on the side of the highway, like screaming, "I do not consent to this search." But the reality is, like, if they had just been like, "I bitch, you're going to jail," like there's literally nothing you can do about it to
So and that point,
prevent them from doing it to you.
well,
They're
and
going to fuck you. The
yes.
question is whether or not, like, if you argue that, like, oh, they broke the law. The
question is do you want to get punched in the face and arrested, or just arrested? Oh, that sounds fucked up, and that like they're violating rights and all of that kind of
right.
stuff. And I'm not gonna sit here and argue that.
Well, I mean, and I think for a lot of people, like the question is like, you want to die right now? Or
See,
do
that's
you
the
want to
thing
let
is,
them take you to jail? And because not for nothing,
Death or slavery.
right? Like, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm white enough that if they fucking arrest me, I mean, like I could at least try to sue the fucking city.
I
If it's an
don't
unlawful
know.
arrest.
No.
I don't know. You know a direct black person. You might not be white enough.
Yeah, and yeah, no, because that's
Living the millennial dream
that's
over here.
insidious. No, that's insidious thinking, because the second you think like
My voice is fucking up your blood quantum.
No, but it's there is that, MJP. There is that. Like I know too many non-white people and like queer people and like I'm definitely I got that
Ooh.
little code on my uniform that like says I'm one of the undesirables.
Okay.
I got that little badge. But
I
Okay.
used to be able
that to
to.
me isn't, hold on. That to me isn't the bigger point. The bigger point is that the second I start thinking I'm safe because like, well, at least I'm not one of them. Nah,
Oh, I'm not
you're
safe,
just
dude.
you're just no. But like I thought somebody said something about like, oh, like aren't you like as a white female like no.
Yep. See, there it is. Yeah,
No,
just when you
because
think you're safe, you remember you're a woman.
well,
Yeah.
no. But that was the point that I was making. That anybody that thought that, like they got their
That's
brain ain't working right. Their brain ain't working right
You're a
because
psychologist. That's enough alone. That's alone enough.
you. The second you think, oh, well, I'm probably safe. That's when you're falling off. That's when you're falling off the side of the bridge, because if you think some imagined characteristic makes you safe, like you're one of the good ones, like
no.
Exactly.
I'm not Dave Rubin.
right, you can't think like that. You can't
So,
think like that, because
what
if you
what
start
is the
thinking
drum
like
you're
that,
playing?
oh, I'm just banging on my computer desk.
Oh, it totally sounds
It
like
sounded like a log
drum.
drum.
Yeah, it totally
Well,
did.
no, and I have been occasionally like drumming on it with my fingers. This was with my drinking glass, but
The moment you think you're safe, you're North Dakota and you're South Dakota.
right,
Well,
right.
here's the thing: is that I mean the thing you gotta remember about the cops in general is that they're on a fucking power trip 24/7, and they don't give a fuck who you are. Honestly, I mean, like, yeah, you're more likely to get fucked up if you're
Really?
a
Tell me
person of
more.
color. If you're a person of color, but if they're feeling frisky, they're gonna fuck anybody up. They don't even care.
They're gonna fuck 'em with their dicks. They're gonna get in there. They're gonna get out.
Fuck to
They're gonna give it the old hock too. The second you dick.
That's not the sound of me smoking.
penis.
Uh,
They're giving you blowjobs.
But yeah,
Gangs of
so
blowjob
I mean,
warriors rolling around. pinning you down.
nobody's fucking safe. I've watched white people get fucking smoked too. I'm not,
I'm not naive
don't
enough to
fucking.
believe.
That's exactly it.
I'm not naive enough to believe that they're not gonna make me suck their dicks.
That's why you got to have a united front.
So you gotta have a united front to get to blow them first. You gotta blow
Yeah.
them, blow you.
Police coming straight from the underground.
And then
I'm
what you
not. I can't repeat the rest of that because I'm not any of that.
do, and then what you do, the trick is after you get the load in there, then you give them the old hock two right in their eyes, and they're like, "Oh God, I've been blinded by my own jizz," and that's when you get their guns, and you start blasting with your
They'd be
cock
like,
and then your handgun.
they'd be like, I'm safe from the white supremacists because, and then pull down a whole poster, and break out a chalkboard, start scribbling equations down like a fucking mathematician.
You're never safe.
What are you
from
talking about?
So
They just scooched the curtain over, and you see that there was a fucking Confederate flag underneath the curtain the whole time.
yeah, right. Oh,
Why
I'm
they're
just
safe
gonna,
from the
I'm
white
just gonna put that
supremacists.
back down.
And a Nazi flag under that one.
Yeah.
Have I ever told you the story of I actually I hit a pedestrian in my car.
Ooh.
And it sounds really bad, but actually the pedestrian is at fault. Now bicyclists are considered pedestrians
Mm-hmm.
in Colorado. Okay. I was pulling out of the apartment complex. To my right are those like fancy kind of bushes, that they like trim the top of them that look all kind of fucking nice, right? I'm driving a Nissan Versa. Does everybody know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's a
Okay.
car. It's a gay
Well, yeah,
car.
but it's the like tiny little car,
That's
right?
a car for getting in
It's
there.
it's the Ford Aspires of fucking Nissans. And I'm driving, and I go to pull out, and this guy is on his bicycle on the sidewalk, by the way, which is illegal in and of
Nissan
itself.
Versa. Yatta.
I go to pull out, and I fucking hit this guy, and he's riding one of those old style BMX bikes, and launches him into the middle of this road, and it's like Colorado Boulevard in fucking Denver. So I'm like, I pull over. I'm 9 weeks pregnant, by the way. Pull over, get out, run up to him, and he's alive. He's sitting there, and I was like, because my first thought was like, oh my God, I'm going to jail. I just killed somebody.
Yeah.
Get up to him. He's fine. Except that he's fucked up, right? Like, a car just fucking hit him.
Obviously.
Yeah. He didn't get the
And so
kill
we
shot.
get he's like, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I seriously did not see you.
You're
And
I'm
he's like,
disappointed. I could have gotten you and I didn't. I missed.
right. He's like, it's okay. This has happened before.
What?
Yeah. He's like, my bike doesn't have brakes.
He's like, I've been running into people
What?
all over town.
Yeah. So cops show up, everything. They send this guy off in the hospital because like his ankle's fucked up, right?
And they shoot him, put him down like a dog, and send him to a glue
They
factory.
do. I mean, and I mean, I know we were just talking about race, so I want to say that this guy was white. Okay, like we're talking white on white crime right now.
Kind of hit. When you get a white guy in the car, you hit him.
No, 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 no. You can't say white on white crime because then it's supposed to be normalized, so it's just supposed to be crime.
I'm sorry, it's crime. Just some crime happening here.
Just a regular crime with no race
crime.
involvement because
No race
white is no
involvement.
race.
And he's
White is
Thank
no
you.
race.
Crime, the best kind of hate crime.
I love MJP.
It's the absence of race.
I have to stop really quick in the middle of this fucking story to say how much I love MJP and the way that like I'm like the whitest motherfucker you ever met, and so goddamn.
I'm overlooking a lot.
And
like
you are now tainted. I have
And-
corrupted your soul.
No, I was gonna say MJP will like fucking put my ass straight, but he's like he's blunt about it, but like it's like he gets in there, tells you, and then you just move on. and I appreciate that
Rooting around in your ass.
because like I'm a dumb fucking white person, and so sometimes I have to be put in my place as a dumb fucking white person. MJP puts me in my place,
well, now you're
and
a slightly informed fucking white person.
yeah, that's the
Only a
thing
little.
is like MJP puts me in my place, but he like doesn't hold it against me. He's like,
That's
I
what
know
we
you're
need.
a dumb white person, so let's just move on.
What we need is more men telling women and female presenting people their place. Well,
They
Exactly.
call me the honky wrangler.
Fuck yeah, they
the
do.
honky whisperer. You can tell what honkies are thinking. You're like, mayonnaise, MacGyver.
Anyway,
The other black
So-
guys are like, what the hell? How'd he get away with that?
The other black guys are like, how's he doing that? And you're like, I've been around their kind. I've studied them in their homes.
white
Try.
bitches love me. We gotta get you a shirt that said white
Yeah.
bitches love me.
You
Oh,
definitely-
I don't have to have a shirt because I can grab the white bitches who love me.
The white bitches who love me. I remember that movie.
I don't need a shirt because I got the white bitches.
Please, are you dating a white? Are you like
Yes, I got a white bitch right now.
Oh my god, that is so because I had no fucking idea, I swear to god.
I don't know if I
Swear.
call her a white bitch. I don't think I do that. That's a good way to not be dating a white woman. Real fast way to get rid of them. They don't like it.
Well, if she's listening, I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. No, wow, you can't.
Like that Key and Peele.
You can't prove it.
Bitch.
This is another MJP saying this.
different bro.
It's the other guy. He's an Arab.
So
Honorary
cops
Arab.
are called. Like I said, they get this guy out of here because, like, yeah, he's fucked up. Now his head's okay. His head's not bleeding, nothing like that. So I'm glad. But they're like,
Couldn't score
my
the kill,
car-
could you?
Wait,
Mike-
like, I gotta before this falls out of my head.
No.
I was away. I was in a town like on the Virginia North Carolina border for a minute.
mhm.
Couldn't bring it home.
With a bunch of friends, and one of them is a woman, a black woman, who
Covered in chocolate.
perennially makes comments about white women stealing black men to the women who are white.
Oh yeah, they hate that shit.
Yeah, they do. Sexual competition among
But
black
it's
Maybe
like
and white.
these
Hot.
these are people who have supposedly been friends for like 40 years.
Months
and-
days and hours.
And she's still like poking with that knife, like really? Like
Yeah. You gotta let them white women know.
Oh, yeah.
it just seemed
What they
it's
Can we just fuck
kinda-
whoever we want to and let it go?
Whites
Oh,
are-
yeah.
and by
they-
the way, Dan, you have no sound on Twitch. I can hear you fine
Well-
in Discord though.
You know what the problem is? I'm mumbling very low on purpose.
No, but I'm saying you've got the right kind of volume on Discord, but like you're completely inaudible on Twitch.
Well, that shouldn't be happening. That's probably because of the offensive things I've been saying over and over.
Oh. Is
Yeah.
the
No,
black
don't
or
worry.
the Jew?
So, cops come, and
I
they're
have-
like, hey,
I just
Go
want
ahead.
to point out that I've been talking about murdering white people over and over in this voice. I don't think
He
that
sure
anyone
has.
like
He
it.
sure has. And we love you for that, and you're perfect.
I know.
yeah, we
But-
support
I
you.
know it, but they
But
don't.
what I'm
Like,
gonna say here about this is that
go off, King.
there's a lot of black people that hate that shit. A lot of white people too, for that same reason. They're brainwashed by the racist thinking. So they accept the misogyny, they accept
Are
the
you
Christianity.
referring to miscegenation?
Yes, yes.
I used to know
Anyway,
back at the bar.
Yes.
She was wonderful.
but there's so many of that you'd be surprised. So many of them. If you sit there and ask them, you say, okay, what do you think of black men dating white women? And they'll say they're not even black anymore. They're not even really black.
Right.
And
That's
it's
fucked up, dude.
It's kind
And
of
they don't say it about the opposite. but then
Yeah, what happens if a white man dates a black woman?
but when you mention that, okay, well what about the ones who have done a whole lot more like actually revolutionary action for black people. Then all of a sudden they get crickets and they want to change the subject.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when we consider what we consider blackness isn't inherently transmitted through skin tone alone.
Well,
There's
I
also a
mean,
willing component, a
so
willingness component.
2 of my best friends are black. We went out to a Chinese restaurant. This lady goes
Who
to walk up to my
too? Nice.
hey motherfucker, that's pretty hard around here. Damn it. Hey, I'm pretty goddamn proud of that.
Got her ass.
Yeah. It's about being
Uh,
Chinese mostly.
do you want to
Yeah.
be one of my best friends too? Did I leave you out at MGP? Is that what the problem
Oh, I thought I was one. I thought I was the first one.
is?
What am I now? Whose friend am I? What do I gotta do?
You talking to other black people over there? What's going on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I feel
they're
cheated
not
on.
allowed to live
I
in her town.
am the only black person.
I'm the only black in Minnesota. That's true.
And this lady
My
walks up to her, right?
pasty ass is the most.
And you can tell by looking at this bitch that she's probably a Karen. And she goes to walk up to my friend, and I start to walk towards my friend, like, because we're all waiting in line in, like, a Chinese buffet, right?
The
So I'm
Chinaman
kind of
buffet.
behind. And she goes, "Oh, I love your hair." And luckily she didn't touch her or anything. You know, she's like, "Oh, thank you." Like, you know. But, like, I started to walk in because, like, I was going to get in between them. And it has nothing to do with my friend Janice not being able to hold her own. That bitch can hold her own. My thing is that I'm less likely to go to jail over it than she is.
It's crazy. It's
And
I
crazy.
yeah,
wanted
the lady
to.
was. Luckily, the lady was cool, but
I was
Cool
just
enough.
going back to the Sundown Town map. Oh, it is on there. I was gonna say, like, Mount Laurel's not even mentioned, but it is. It's only pink.
They have a lot of insufficient data. Apparently, the guy who was collecting this map died at some point.
Perfect.
And
Do
We
you
got
know
the
why
job
Mount
done.
Laurel? Do you know why Mount Laurel is significant?
Is that where the move bombing was?
No, that was in Philadelphia, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
And I
what's
watched that
Philadelphia?
live on TV.
Born and raised.
Philadelphia represent.
Where we talk about
It's the
And
local
and
black
and
market.
Philadelphia.
refugees.
Oh, and do you know who ordered the bombing? The first black mayor.
Yeah, first.
So it was exactly
Black on black
that.
crime.
It was exactly that comic where they're like, oh, they say the next bombs will be sent by women. Oh, yay! Like,
Really lightens your heart to know that there's a broad out there
yeah.
going, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to absolutely murder these babies for real. And then I'm going to go
You
home.
know,
and I'm gonna
I
beat
have
my
my
black
hand.
maid.
I have my hand on the fucking button.
I got my hand on my ass right now.
Which hand and what button?
Oh, I make buttons. I make babies specifically for the purpose of killing them.
That's right.
Like I always say,
Nice.
babies, fun to make, fun to eat.
Yeah.
I was gonna say fun to break.
Especially when they're boneless.
Right? It's all cartilage if you if you cook it low and slow.
Yeah, low and slow.
It
That's
just
what I call
it just melted.
Did you guys know that they're so like
Yeah,
Like-
Ricky's got a real problem with the brain, you know.
something like 100,000 women that are battered each year,
There's
and
what?
I've been eating mine plain.
I was gonna say like batter like are they tempura battered or
100,000 battered women. You know what I say to that? That's a good start. We're not there yet.
What do you tell a bitch with two black eyes?
Nothing you haven't
nothing?
told
You already told her
her. You
twice.
told her.
Hey
Stop,
yo!
stop dating cops. That's what you tell her.
Yeah, no shit, right? 40%. 40% of cops. Look it up.
40,
40% is 40%.
40% of the time.
Every
they make
time.
the wrong decision every time. That's a woman.
40% of the time, they got caught.
All right, MJP.
Okay, you got me. You got me. That was
I
fucking stupid.
I'm almost 3 beers in. I have a
Okay.
question for you.
Okay.
What is the absolute most racist shit anybody's ever said to you?
Why are we doing racist? What is this, an inquisition?
The most racist shit
I
anyone's
don't,
ever
I
said
don't,
to me.
hold on. I don't think we need to
Is
go
that
down
question?
Is it, hi, welcome to the Sons
No,
of
he doesn't
Trier?
need to exactly say, but I'm
this road.
actually
You know, I don't think we need to bring this topic up. I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of in my life. And I was drinking a lot back then.
Hey man,
2
I've
weeks
done
ago,
a
I
lot
was
of shit
different
I'm not
guy.
proud of too.
It was 2 weeks ago. I was a completely different man.
All right, so
Now I hate women.
by inference, probably the most racist shit ever said to MJP was from Dan, and we don't need to talk about it. Moving on.
Yeah. Hold on. I do have a small quibble. You said by inference. I said by omission. Admission.
Well, Dan, you're not 100.
Omission
Not
or
that it matters,
emission?
but you're not 100% white.
Does it have to be? Does it have to be regular overt racism, or does it have to? Can it be northern
Actually,
racism?
let me
Can it be
rephrase
straight up
it.
conspiracy ring nut talk?
I don't
No,
know.
what are
what
we
was
talking
the
about?
one thing
Either
that
way.
somebody said to you that was racist that just made you want to punch them in the face? Like, I know there's sometimes funny racism. I mean, I know there's sometimes like
Hilarious.
pity racism where you're like, oh my god, you're just stupid, you know. But what's the one where you're like, bitch, you know better, and I want to fucking like just pummel
Again.
your face then right now.
Again, I don't think we need to go down this. I don't think.
Yeah, it
But
would
it doesn't
definitely
have to
be.
be
It
what
would
they
definitely
said.
be. It would definitely be in the frat boy days, and Dan is not safe in that case, so we need to move on.
I didn't.
That's
So where'd you go to college at?
2 hours ago was a very different time. Okay.
exactly. We don't need to pursue this.
Yeah, we don't need to pursue this game.
You're right. No.
Well, no, I've heard all the racism. So I mean, really, it's so much, and that like you can't really. It's just noise at that point, if that makes any sense.
No, it
Like
totally.
someone says a side comment about watermelon or fried chicken or some shit. You're just like, oh, okay, yeah, we've heard this before. Fuck that motherfucker, whatever. Another person that do that sly racism. We're gonna make it's just jokes. We're just having fun, you know. There's that
No, it's
variety.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't you have a sense of
And
humor?
there's the snooty northern racism, which is probably the most racist I've ever seen. Which is, oh, aren't you too poor to be here, or can you afford that? Like, just automatically assuming things. You know what I mean? And then sneering and being condescending. Those guys really fucking, you know, at least with the dumbass Southerners, you know, they know there's gonna be retaliation.
Well, I'll tell you the most misogynistic thing that's ever happened to me. How about
Overt
that?
shit is sometimes more palatable than that like sly kind of by the way shit.
Yeah.
Passive aggressive.
I mean,
all racism
there's
is
some-
openly aggressive.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you're just like, oh well, you know, you're an N-word, I wouldn't expect you to understand. Like at least you're showing who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
If
those aren't
instead
necessarily.
you're like, oh,
But
like,
but to be honest, it's probably someone in the education. It's probably been people in the education field. Like if they're not like a good teacher, they're probably and they're like racist. It gets really fucking awful real quick, and you're like still
Yeah.
forced to be there. So like it's like a whole ordeal to fucking deal with.
Any reaction to being inside that classroom is like, oh, that's a behavioral
Well, and I'm not-
problem.
When I
Perhaps they should see the school psychologist and get an IUD.
They don't even let you go to the school psychologist. No, not the black kids.
Yeah, they just give you an IUD.
They send you to detention because you're a little criminal.
Yeah.
Let's not talk down about IUDs. They're the fucking best. Hands down. I got
They
nothing
just
to
give
say.
you an IUD. They're like, get it in there. It's got.
So
They fucking should.
Oh,
most-
I didn't know we were going that route with it. Okay.
So
Well,
to
no,
answer your question, there is no notable instance of which I would take note as the worst. It's just an
Well, I
ever
guess I'm
pervasive force
right.
lingering over life as it does.
I don't know what's better.
I mean, it's like
Not being racist. I get this one solved. This one I can get right.
Well, yeah, we all know that the option to be racist or not
That
be
wasn't
racist.
the game.
I'm gonna
The
pick
game
that
was, I
one.
don't know what's better. I said, I got this one. I'm right for once.
I mean, it's like asking, like, oh, like, what's the most overt misogyny you've ever experienced?
Oh, I
Again,
actually
And,
okay, it
was
was
gonna
4
say that.
hours ago. You people have to give me a goddamn break at some point.
Daniel, this is one instance in which you can't even compete. It was that
Oh,
bad.
okay.
It was that fucking bad.
Okay.
Wait. You have to preface this with it's not a challenge. We don't want you doing as many Hitlers as possible to match this case.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well, and then not only that,
well,
this
no,
is the
I'm
Russian
not
Olympics.
asking-
You're dealing with a child here. You need to spell these things out.
right, but here's the thing, not for nothing.
I do believe this is the oppression
I would
Olympics.
be I
Okay,
would
we're
be
gonna go
so
home.
much I would be so much more happy if Dan hurt my feelings in a misogynistic way
You got him.
versus the thing that actually happened to me.
Yeah, because you'd have his ass over a barrel. You know, lock, stock, and barrel. He's fine.
Oh, you're saying his? It was a woman, or at least
Yeah.
presenting as one. At least.
Oh, the plot thickens.
Oh, it was a
Of course, it was
gynecologist.
a woman.
It was a gynecologist.
Sweet.
It was a woman gynecologist.
Hot.
It was.
Internalized misogyny.
Yep, that's the fucking worst. Man.
Oh, and by the way, the health system had been taken over by the Catholics, so
Excellent.
you know.
Gotta love the Catholics. They know how to party.
Right. So
They know
I'm
the
not
20-year-old women in
saying
dresses and make you pretend they're 10. Hot.
Bitches,
I'm
don't know how
not
to
saying that's where the hostility came from, but I am saying she had an Irish name and she worked for a Catholic institution. So draw your own conclusions.
Do your own homework.
Um,
The Irish have it coming. The Irish have it
I-
coming.
since I brought it up, I feel like it's unfair to not give like a brief overview.
Of the Jews. Got it. Let's hear about them. What are they up to?
I'm telling, it's Dan's Coon song. It was Dan's Coon song.
That's not the most racist thing I did. I'm the one who noticed. That doesn't make me the racist.
No.
That doesn't make
Do
me
you have
the
any
racist.
snippets of this song?
Oh,
So-
who was it? Who did that song? We were okay.
I
Okay,
glued
all right.
my
I gotta
balls
ditch the voice.
to
Nope.
my butthole again.
I gotta ditch the voice.
Oh
So we're at
my
the Greensburg
God.
Mall, and for the record, I am not the one. I was not like, oh, I
Wait,
invented this.
You were
song.
at the mall.
We're at the mall, and we go into this store, and I'm already like,
It was long enough that malls were relevant.
it's long enough ago. And by the way, like, I don't like the way you portrayed me as the actual worst racist in your life.
No, I'm joking. I'm clowning you, bro.
I'm gonna have to defend
Well,
myself now on all
That's
charges.
definitely one-sided because I found it absolutely fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I bet you did. I bet you were like, tee, look at Dan, we're gonna cancel him right now. We're gonna change the show
you
to woke
fucking
sons of
commie,
woke
you
dare.
dirty goddamn commie.
We got
Right
it.
in front of
We
my
got
black
it.
friend.
Right in front of my only black friend. Are you
My
only
two black
friend?
friends, motherfucker. I have
three.
two.
I have 3. I got your ass. White people.
I count as 3 now.
No. In 2 another context. How do you like that? No. So we're at the Westmoreland Mall, and we're in one of them goddamn awful white people. Fucking clothing stores.
Westmoreland Mall.
Yeah. So we're there.
Goddamn, that sounds really white too.
Where's that on the Sundown Town map?
It's not there, funny enough, although it's really near Allegheny.
Oh my god, I almost spit out my beer.
So, up in Greensburg in the Westmoreland Mall, a couple of white girls. We go in this white girl clothing store. At White Girl Clothing Incorporated, whichever one it was, I forget now. I couldn't be
It doesn't
bothered
matter.
to care less. Yeah, it's all. But the point is, this is very white.
I believe it was an Old Navy.
It wasn't an Old Navy. It was one of the fancier ones, like an Aero Pastel or some shit, something like that. I'm not saying it was
Oh,
Aero
yeah.
Pastel. Don't.
They
I
blur
don't
they
want them
blur that
people
much,
suing.
yeah.
Is there possible moving on?
Yeah, I don't care what it is. The point is, I don't want them suing. If I say Aero Pastel, they won't think it's them. I get an out. So I do what I do with a purpose. There's a method to Dan Cohen's madness at all times. So
At all times?
at all times, there's
I was
always a
gonna
method.
say I highly doubt
All
that.
times?
Well, that's because you're not on my wavelength. You're not as clever as me. Once you get there, you'll be like, damn, that guy he's a psychopathic genius.
At all times?
At all times, everything I say is on purpose. I've never not
I'm
said
gonna have-
Every single time.
every time.
I'm gonna have to side with my chocolate comrade here.
I don't know if I like you calling him a chocolate comrade. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna move
No, it's
on.
because I'm sweet. It's because I'm sweet.
Yeah, I don't think that's why.
Melt in your mouth.
That's true. Got my ass. So anyway, we're up in the mall and we're standing at this awful clothing store, and these girls are just bopping and bopping and booping and bopping, and we're all standing around kind of bored now. MJP busies himself with something else. He finds something else to busy himself with. Probably their breasts, if I had to guess, but I don't know.
I do like boobs.
I didn't lie. I never said anything untoward.
Bring me the
And then what
titties.
pops on is the coon shooting boogie. It's really not it's not a song about shooting raccoons. If you're not familiar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ditch the voice for a moment because I'm very serious. And I was like, what in the actual fuck, dude? We gotta get out of here. This store's racist as shit. And they were like, no, it's not racist. It's about raccoons. I was like, no, it's not though.
No.
Then I was
I
considered
remember-
racist for knowing that was a racist song. Being
I
able to
remember
identify
because you
racism.
alerted me. You alerted me, and I was like, "Oh no, this is not okay. We must go,
Yeah.
like right now."
Is that how you
Like-
remember it? That's nice of you, because how you remember it
Yeah.
is like when I was like, listen, if that were a song about killing dogs, you people would have no problem being like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. When it's about killing black people, though, everyone's like, oh, it's
God, no, I
it's
would
being
shit
silly
my
fun.
pants.
I got
honestly.
accused.
would've been
I
like,
get accused
whoa.
of comparing black people to dogs. Is what I get accused of, instead of pointing out the hypocrisy of like, if this were an anti-animal, if this were pro-animal violence, we would not be cheerfully shopping at Aeropostale or wherever.
Vegans.
What
Banana
Dan is
Republic.
trying to say is never trust a fucking liberal. They will betray you.
The minute there's a good deal on sale, they will just absolutely betray you.
100%.
100%.
Never
nice-
trust a
nice-
hippie who
got nice
shot
boobs,
little Bambi.
What now?
Well, they didn't shoot Bambi. Didn't they shoot Bambi's
I was
mom or
singing
whatever?
Sex Pistols.
I was saying their
Who
daughter's got nice
killed
boobs.
Bambi?
Wasn't it Bambi's mom or some shit?
Yeah, it was Bambi's mom. It was
Right,
hot.
but that's
I gunned her down. It was pretty hot.
But yeah, that's what they do. They go, "Oh, that's not
There's
really
a
racist.
song.
Okay, it is kind of racist, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
And-
Okay, it does matter, and you're about to get someone killed, but
yeah.
it's fine. I'm not affected."
Yeah, to be fair, I was accused of comparing black people to dogs because when I pointed out that this were a song that was pro-animal cruelty, we wouldn't stay here. We'd have been gone.
Well, it goes back to they came for the socialists, but I wasn't socialist.
Thanks. I mean, I am, obviously. I've been doing anti-white racism all night,
Mm-hmm.
which that is also something I've been famous for, and I have stood behind in numerous venues across the country, in several courts of law, so-called white courts of law, if the whites could be called to be a legal entity.
Well, if you make the laws, then you get to do that, right?
My dear spouse was pointing out that I'm racist, to which I said I have not hidden my anti-white racism in my anti-white vibes.
just like I told you. Some say, actually, I told LG. Some say that I am misogynist. To which I say, prove me wrong.
Yeah, prove me wrong. Show me the white woman that deserves respect.
Right? Right? Bring it. I'll judge. Nah.
I would try to figure it out, but you all look the same.
You show me one white
know,
woman that
right?
deserves respect, and I'll recant everything. Go on, I'll wait.
Praise Yakub.
That's been my whole life, Dan.
Yeah.
My whole life.
Well,
Praising Yakub.
I'm waiting.
yeah, praising you, Goob.
You know how like who was that Greek dude in the barrel with the lantern that was like looking for like one honest person? Like
Oh yeah,
show
Nietzsche.
me one white bitch that ain't a Karen.
Show me one. You show me one, and I'll recant everything. Where is
Right.
she?
I'm out there.
Show me one and I will suck my own dick right here.
Right here.
I'm
in front of
out
everybody.
there. I'm out there in that barrel with that lantern, and it's been a hard 30 years, dude.
Gun to your head. Show me a white woman that deserves respect right now. You're on blast. Let's see it. look.
Oh.
See, for me,
So-
it's not hard. My mom.
Yeah, really?
Really?
The most misogynistic thing that ever happened to me is that I got told not to tell people that I was playing Pokemon Go.
Why? Because you're a broad, and they were like, "Hey, broads can't play Pokemon Go. They got a Pokemon Go to the kitchen and get me a sandwich." Because that's
Wait,
really big.
Because that's inappropriate.
Farmy. Let's be real. The first and worst misogynist thing that happened to you was like your relationship with that dude.
Oh, well, that's true.
Like everything.
Right. So you're like, oh, somebody yelled at me for Pokemon Go. Like, no, that's not the big problem.
No, that's the I should say in my career. That was yeah. You're right. God damn it.
What happened
I
with
think
this
that was
fella?
like
What did he do?
Dan, stop.
What?
oh no,
Oh, everybody can ask about Dan's racist past, but God forbid we ask this game in reverse. Suddenly Dan Cohen's an asshole.
Well, no, I mean, like,
I've seen many women getting their asses beat by fucking dudes.
I'm just saying, like, okay, if we have a solid 90 minutes to devote to this,
Yeah.
dope. Continue.
well,
Wouldn't the most misogynist be like physical altercations, right?
well, I did have a guy. I think what Juniper is referring to is a guy that told everybody that I raped him.
He told everybody you raped him.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm talking about like the groomer that like
Oh yeah, well then yeah, and
sequestered
that
you from
Yeah, that counts.
that happened, and then
Done it though.
my first
Done
It does.
though.
It does.
my first boyfriend I was 16 and he was 22, and he did
Jesus
the
Christ.
whole like groomer thing where he'd be like, "What are you doing? Where are you going? Why are your shorts so short? Is it because you want to fuck every dude out there?"
Why
The
did you
worst
make him
part-
sound like Ben fucking Shapiro?
The word. What are you doing? Where are you going? You're gonna have sex with every man?
No,
I bet you
well,
are. I know
and-
you are. You're gonna have sex with every man, and I'm not gonna get a
Yeah,
big boy box.
Like
Yeah, that was actually the problem. Like she wasn't feeding him big boy bucks,
No,
and
I never get a big boy
in
box. You have all the
answer
cats, and I get
in
everything.
answer to MJP, doing the voices is how we deal with this shit.
Yeah.
And it's
Gotcha.
also funny because I realize if I'm talking to people and I'm doing a voice for a guy, it's done. Like
so
I
don't
just
kill myself.
I haven't
Okay?
right,
Like, I know
but
that sounds really fucked up, and that's it. Like it is so.
well,
I
no,
don't
you
unalive myself.
compartmentalize that shit, right?
Yeah, it's
You
I've turned horrible things into humor.
it's and it's part of a script. Like you're in it. You're reading it. But the voice thing, I specifically want to point out because every once in a while I'll realize that when I speak to people who don't know someone about that person, I do a voice. And it doesn't usually like sound like them. It's usually like, like SpongeBob or, like Droopy Dog or whatever.
Yeah, a lot less depressing if you're getting your ass whooped by Droopy.
Right. But here's the thing. I have recognized that like by the time I start telling other people what someone said and I'm doing a voice, that person they're done. They're done. Like if it's a guy I'm seeing, and when I'm talking to other people about him, I'm doing the voice. No,
Oh, fuck,
it's
you're
over.
right.
It's over.
You're right.
It's already
Yeah.
over.
And then he
'Cause
was like, "Stop spitting in my mouth. I hate it." And you're okay.
Talk
Well,
to
no, I
him.
mean, well, that's I still don't. I have yet to understand what that shit's about, and it's been going on for like over a decade. The whole spit in my mouth, like I get it.
Okay.
No, I only
Get
spit
it.
on your dick, okay? I ain't gonna, or your pussy. Like I ain't gonna.
Mm,
No, but there's a very specific thing. It seems
Our
like
pussy.
no,
Yeah.
the spit in
MVP, I
my
would share
mouth
any pussy
thing.
I ever get with you, anytime.
Thanks, comrade. Much appreciated. We must seize the beans.
seize the
The
beans.
beans of production.
Seize
The beans of production.
Yeah, well, maybe we don't need to get into the psychology of that one.
That's fantastic.
Maybe we don't.
10 out of 10.
Dan doesn't want to feel personally attacked again tonight. Maybe that's
Not tonight. Okay.
maybe give me some time to recover from the last savage beating you monsters gave me.
I wasn't there.
You were right here. It was literally tonight. It was you were literally on.
Oh, I thought you were
But Dan,
talking
if you
about
don't beat everybody
last
when they're
week.
down, then what fun is it to beat them if they're not down?
How are you
Because
supposed to
then they
be
can
any
get up,
bad if you don't
and
beat
then
them
it's a
when they're
fight, and that's no fun. I just like beating them when they're down.
Beat them when they're down. Beat them off when they're down.
Oh
Get
no,
down on the
my
ground,
fight.
start beating them up.
I like
That's how
to
you
beat
win.
people when they're up because that's funner.
I like to beat
Kick them when they're up, kick them when they're down, kick them when
Kick
they're
'em when
sick,
they're up.
kick them all around. Do 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 do.
John
I'm a
Henley.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of the person who thinks they can't get touched, and then they do, and they get punched in the face, and all of a sudden you see all that smugness melt, and
Oh yeah.
reevaluate their entire life's decisions to how it got to this point of them getting
Yep.
punched in the face,
because you're
and then the
touchable.
realization that they're gonna get punched in the face again, and
Yeah.
here it comes.
'Cause you're
Well, like,
scared.
have you seen that video go around of the Nazi getting punched and he like puts his hand
Yes.
up like all like
Yes.
I don't know like stop in the name of love or some shit
Oh boy,
and-
have I seen it.
and they just fucking haul up and hit him and I don't remember isn't it forgive me isn't it no it's a white guy that hits him right
Yeah.
yeah just
He's
haul up
masked too. He's masked too. You don't even know who he is.
The
The
only
crowd just
Yeah.
immediately
Guys.
absorbs him.
Stop! I
and
can only be so hard. It's really becoming a challenge for
That
me.
man is
I
the
need
Right.
to
ghost of
stop
Christmas
talking
past.
about
He just
punching
walks.
these Nazis.
It's really nice when you
And-
talk about Jank in the third person.
This is real life Batman. It was
and
real
all I
life
have to
Batman.
say about that exact moment needs to happen more often because here's the problem. I don't think we're
Listen.
punching near enough Nazis. I don't think we're
I
hitting our Nazi
can't
quota.
be everywhere at the same time. I don't have the time in the day.
Okay, bitch, we're gonna figure out a way to clone your ass.
I'm trying.
Well, the only reason we have an issue with this anyway, not that people wouldn't want to, it's just that they go running behind Daddy Cop, and
Well, the other thing is that white people let these people get away with this shit.
That's true.
exactly.
That's the fucking real problem. Like, I was at, like, you gotta fucking stand up, dude. Like, I was at a neighbor's party about a year ago,
The whites are a
And
social
somebody-
menace.
and somebody said, "Oh, those DYKE moved in," and I went, "That's you keep saying that shit, and that's how you get your fucking ass kicked."
The DYKEs moved in.
He spelled it out like
I did,
He spelled it out.
I did spell. No, he said it.
Oh, he said.
oh,
it.
he
I
said
don't
it.
think-
Oh, okay.
I was really
Yeah.
hoping he was too scared to say it. He's like,
No, he fucking said it. He
That
said
would make it
and I don't
amazing, right?
Yeah, he's
I
like
don't
the
think he
Scooby-Doo
realized. But like, I really don't think he realized like that he was saying a fucking slur for lesbians. I really don't think he did because after I like laid into him, he was like, "Hey, look, I'm really sorry."
I'm really
But
sorry. I got
it's
caught.
probably because he heard them using it with each other, and was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, hey, let me use it." You know how they kids want to fit in.
Well, and I don't think think
Yeah,
I no,
37-year-old
it's
Again,
more of
I
like
do
my
apologize
bros.
for that, MJP.
Yeah.
My bros say it, so it's okay if I say it. You know, like around people, and it's like, I don't think you realize what you're saying. And so, like, it was kind of funny though. Like half the party fucking dogged on him. They're like, dude, don't fucking say that.
Yeah.
Which is good. That's what people should do. Shame the
Oh,
shit
it's
out of
so woke. So woke.
What are they talking?
Can't even walk in the room and say a slur anymore. What is this
What if he
wokeness?
talked like a Scooby Doo villain though? Wouldn't that be funnier if he's like
Scooby Doo or one of its many ripoffs.
yeah, he's like they're the
Yeah.
Dropping it with the hard R's.
yeah.
It would be that. It would
Actually,
be that. It
I
would be in
think
that.
it would. I think
It
it
would
would
be
be
in that.
most effective with that dune buggy one.
Yeah, the Dune buggy's like.
So what I'm trying to say is
Exactly.
that more people should be
I
punched
don't
in
know.
the
I
face
feel
for the
like
shit that they say.
Yeah. Nobody. That's
agreed.
right. We all agree.
Wait,
Nobody should.
MJP, what Hanna-Barbera cartoon do you think would be most effective
It
in
would still
dropping
be.
racial
It would
slurs?
still be Scooby Doo, but it would be the Mindy Kaling version with the black Velma and the black Shaggy. You've seen. You know the one. It's
No, I
awful.
haven't.
It's
I-
just.
I
It's just
haven't
dreadful.
seen
It is the worst.
I refuse. I fucking refuse.
It is the worst.
I have heard it's the worst.
That's where I would expect it to come up. You would be like, she did what? How do we all miss it? Nobody watched it. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like, pick me, coach. I'm ever so clever.
Everybody watched one episode and said, "Nah, this is."
That one, I did
I'm not
wonder
gonna
why.
say. I'm not gonna say I don't think Mindy Kaling's funny.
No one does. No one. When you stop and think about it, who the fuck thinks Mindy Kaling is funny?
Actually, to
I
be
think she's-
fair, right? Who thought she was funny in The Office? Who actually was like, you know who my
No
favorite
one.
character is?
I
Kelly.
think that
was
her
just there.
dynamic with other
Well, no,
people
she was
funny.
she was good at being the straight man.
Yeah.
She was
It's
just
LD.
there.
Hi, LD.
Hey, was
Yeah, yeah.
So, I-
dude.
LD and the his.
this one goes out to all the ladies in the radio land.
Hey, this one goes out to all the
I
radio.
glued my balls to my
DJ,
butthole
please
again.
pick
Oh
up
my
your song.
God.
You're on the quest line.
LD is for loose dildo.
What now?
Is
Yeah,
that
my dildos are really tight, okay?
is that 1 minute, man?
Yeah.
30-second, man. Come on, get with it.
I can do it 3 times in 30 seconds.
That's goddamn impressive, sir.
I can ride a boop with no handlebars.
The handlebar.
Yeah.
Look,
That's great. That's
that,
good.
that reminds me of something.
They're from
I don't-
Colorado.
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 I don't care for any of the late night hosts
No.
right now,
What
but
sundown town are you from?
unnecessary censorship on Jimmy Kimmel Live is a great bit.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm
That's the only thing.
I'm white. Of course, I say shit whitely because I'm white. I apologize.
Nah,
Wait,
I heard you.
uh,
I thought you were 1/100,000th Native American.
Not
Checkmate,
even
lib.
close.
Checkmate, lib.
So,
Purely Chinese.com.
so LD,
Yeah,
you. Hi.
me.
Hi.
You're the most Chinese man in show business.
Hold on. Shush, Dan.
Why
just
That's
want
not
to
even
die for a second.
true. God damn it, Dan.
What? What did I say? What did I say? Where's the lie?
Oh, wrong thing, motherfucker.
Where's the
Both
lie?
of you fucking shush.
Don't shush me. Wait a minute. I'm a grown ass man. Nobody shushes me. Hold the fucking phone here. What is this? Sons of Trier or Sons of Shush Air? Huh? What is this shit?
And here I thought we wouldn't get any Hitlers today.
Yeah, we're about to get some Hitlers. God damn. What are you talking
Excuse me. Can I talk to your manager?
Oh, I'll show you my goddamn manager. Let me tell you. Excuse me, Herman
Lots
Goering,
of
get in here.
ball hair.
I'm scared.
Oh, wait. Oh, so now you're going to show me the manager?
I'll show you.
Oh.
Oh, we got some tension in here.
LD!
Finally getting good at unsolicited
LD!
dick pic.
Thank you so much for showing up. One of the things we were talking about earlier was the sundown town map. If you go back into the actual chat,
Yeah, the
There's-
general chat, and you scroll up,
Yeah.
you'll see a sundown town
there
map.
is a link. I believe you're in like Indiana or like Southern Illinois.
Oh, that's not looking good.
Nobody can confirm
Right.
that.
No, well, because I was just zoomed out on the whole thing.
Again,
But
Fairness, I could
can
have told you all that without even looking at the map.
well,
Can
right.
I-
No, we were joking earlier about like, oh, who's collecting data? Because I could fill in some red.
Mhm.
But
I would like to know why we are asking. LD just showed up, and I don't know why we're now putting him on blast for what he did within the past 45 minutes. I want to know, like, why we feel like we have the right to judge somebody for their past.
you're past 45
Yeah.
seconds. Yeah.
I was
right,
gonna say,
not like. I mean,
past
well,
the next Tuesday.
we're
yeah,
not
whatever.
putting
The
him
sins-
on blast. We are
sins of
not
the
putting
sundown.
him. We are not putting him on blast. We are congratulating his fortitude in, segregating. Like the whole South was already segregated. Somebody had to segregate the North,
Look,
and LD took shit. Like he was just like, this is my mission. I mean, you done good, son, except for what you done.
well, it's Chicago, man. Chicago is a
I don't,
fucking shit fest.
I don't
I'm
believe
not
it's that.
saying
Instructions.
it doesn't have good qualities. That's not what I'm trying to get at. It's got a lot of bad qualities too, though.
Jesus,
I don't believe in,
where's all this Chicago hate coming from? They got
Yeah.
they got and yeah. So
It's
like why?
the Italians.
Oh, them. They're not real people.
Go ahead, LD. I'm sorry.
I believe in segregation. I believe Coke drinkers and Pepsi drinkers should not live in harmony. Pepsi drinkers are the bane of existence.
Okay, so
Who's
what?
the bane
Which
of
one are
existence?
you? Which side are you
Pepsi
on?
drinkers.
You're on the
I'm a
Pepsi
Coke drinker.
drinkers? You're a Coke drinker?
Oh.
Wait. Oh shit.
You know Pepsi gives money to it. Oh, never
So-
mind.
No,
LD,
but like,
what happens
but
if I like
also,
Coke?
Yeah.
one of the foundational elements of being a son of Trier is
A Coke addiction.
understanding that
It's a
Is
different
both
from
sides.
school, don't
Is
worry about that.
understanding
The
both sides
problem-
before Israel.
is understanding that the fundamental problem is like you can't be drinking that Pepsi, young man.
Yeah,
So-
true. The Pepsi will
Ooh,
take
right.
your place.
Yeah, that's a
Pepsi.
good
Oh
So-
no!
He's drinking
Smoke
out of
Right.
Shots fired!
And-
Shots fired! Warning!
And no, because I think that shit's gross. Like I don't drink soda as a general rule. And when I
Well,
was
then fuck
broke-
off with you.
when I
Hey.
was brought up, I was a Coca-Cola family. So like
That's sure I was too.
I'll drink a Mexican Coke once in a while.
Oh
I
my
got a
God,
Mexican
damn,
Coke
yeah.
for you.
It's
Mm,
too
chef
good.
kiss.
So it's too good, so I have to schedule
Juniper.
it as a treat. Sometimes
Juniper.
some Jarritos.
I got a Mexican Coke for you.
Mm.
We're doing
Yeah.
a lot of things here tonight that are Hitlery, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's a very
Yeah,
horny episode
you got
as well.
you
It's
got
very
any
different.
tamarindo
LD,
Jarritos?
just
Because
so you know,
that's
I do like a little Mexican in me.
Well, I don't know a little Mexican, but I got some big Mexican I can put in you.
This is by far
Oh great,
one
we
of the
turned
most
into a
on-brand
dating
episodes
site.
we've had.
Horny on maid.
Click here for pussy in bio. Click here for pussy in bio. Click here.
But see, no, because that's what the rest of the internet doesn't seem to understand. The funny thing is saying it. Like you don't want to investigate that shit. You just want to keep rolling.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to admit, YPG here, sitting here all night,
Yeah.
hasn't said shit.
Well,
got any
no,
comments?
but don't fucking
Don't
No,
acknowledge.
don't
Oh,
make
oh,
them
oh,
feel
okay.
pressured.
Don't
No,
acknowledge.
I don't mean. Just want to make sure
No, it's specifically
you-
bigoted. Don't acknowledge them. They're not supposed to.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I
They're
didn't.
not
know that was-
supposed to
Oh.
be here. They were
My
planned from the
apologies.
Chinese government to try to tell me how to run my business.
Okay, I apologize.
but-
Fuck.
but here's the thing,
Russia, the
I didn't
Russo
realize-
Zionist Jews.
And I'll be in the
In
cold,
their-
cold
in their
ground
mood
before they make
base.
me sign any trade agreements with Missouri.
RPG has some good taste in music, so I'm
And
on
the
their
smell of COVID. COVID had bodies next to it, and those bodies represent the blood of Christ, and that means we're all gonna die.
hmm
God damn it!
Everything about that is
Said
110%
the words
correct.
blood of Christ.
Yeah, the blood of Christ.
No, I actually didn't
The
make that up.
backdoor
I stole
action
that.
of
I stole
Christ.
that. I stole that from someone today.
The backdoor
Well,
action
yeah.
of Christ. Yeah.
I don't
Came
get
up
it.
and was like,
I mean,
he was
it-
like, "Are you guys communist?" We were like, "Yeah."
Who said that now?
It was a random guy, random conspiracy guy.
Sweet. He was like, "You guys commies," and you're like, "So bad."
Where?
And then he
in
just
your
and then he
local
just it was
neighborhood or
it was at a
online
festival.
or?
It was at a festival. It was at a
Oh,
festival.
okay.
Oh
And the
shit!
guy
Yeah,
just
right. Ah,
and the guy just goes off with the wildest shit I've ever heard in my life.
that's funny.
He's like,
And
"I
one
gotta get him now."
person tries to keep pace. They're like, time's a construct, and he just completely blows right through it with some nonsense. It
fucking
was great.
flat
And
circle,
like,
yo.
gender's a construct, right?
Right?
This
Right?
is what one's-
No, he said time is grounded. Time was created in 4000 BCE.
Oh no! So
No,
he
Honey, it's
It
a lot
comes from
older
an
than that.
ancient. It comes from an ancient source.
It's a lot older than that, hun.
ancient
He
source.
just plowed right through it
Let's-
without missing a
Let's
beat.
go.
We were like, God damn, this dude is an expert.
This guy knows
But
what
no-
he's doing.
But if it was
So-
video, it would be and like you would do the flashback thing.
Hmm
So my favorite thing is like trying to learn actually something about ancient past and having them be like, oh, aliens did it anytime that it was anybody fucking like darker than Ghost. White.
Well, that's
And
but
I'm just
that's-
like, God damn it, I was following along until you're like, aliens had to do
Is
this
it the
is
Walton
why
and
you have
Chinese?
to consider the source. Consider the source.
Yeah, the
Has anyone
Chinese.
ever considered?
At it again.
Has anyone
Consider the
ever considered-
source.
Has
Turns
anyone
out
ever
that's fucking
considered that?
aliens.
Has anyone ever considered that brown folk way back then in ancient times were actually aliens?
Mhm.
Right, and it's, like how we define an aliens. Like, oh,
Like they
people
came,
that
they jumped over the
It's-
space wall to get here.
They're Kush aliens. They're aliens from the realm of Kush.
What
Right,
about
and-
calling South Park
right.
Goobacks?
and well, no, I mean it goes back to like what they thought about like Neanderthals, and then they're like, oh, like they didn't completely disappear, like they interbred, and like so,
God bless America.
Yeah.
right.
They're studying it. Apparently, there might be a link between Neanderthal genes and autism.
That makes sense.
Oh,
Oh
great!
no, shit! I've known that for a decade and a half.
Yeah, they're
Thank
digging
you.
into that.
But I mean,
I'm honestly
Not-
more interested if there's
not
something
for
between
nothing,
autism and
I'm
liberalism.
interested. But wait, if there's a liberal gene,
Well, I don't think that autism is entirely genetic. I actually think it's a learned trait.
okay,
I
I'm
think
not
it's
gonna.
I think it's I honestly do believe it's a response to abusive stimuli, probably something to do with neglect and like
I completely disagree with you.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine.
100%.
we don't got time for that.
I
Right.
this is all I know about it, right? This is all I know about it. Everybody is autistic now, and everybody has been neglected for the past decades by their shitty liberal parents, and their
Yeah, but
even
my-
shittier conservative parents.
My
I have a
daughter
lot to
was
say
diagnosed
about
autistic
that.
at like 3.5 years old, and I could tell you she was not neglected.
Do you watch
And
a lot of television?
She watched a lot of television.
Yeah, consume a lot of media.
Not at that time, no.
Okay, the last
Now
one I'm
she
gonna say is
does.
this: were her parents smoking pot?
We're
That's a
That-
serious question. I want that
No,
open for
it-
debate.
Yeah,
Because
but
that is the other social link I've seen a lot of. There are a lot of parents smoking pot, and some of got a lot of autistic kids, and I'm like,
no. So
Dan?
there's two different questions here. Are you asking if the mother smoked weed during her pregnancy?
or
Or
around
are
the
you
child. I don't know. I don't have a study to run the specific links. I have just there are things I have observed, and like I'm calling
All
no
I'm
smoke
gonna
without fire.
say is that, like, since I entered like the clinical realm of psychology, I've been seeing shit that's like, ooh, that's me. Ooh, that's me.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's me. And here's the thing. No traumatic shit ever happened to me. Like, none
Lucky.
of the stuff that you're talking about applies to me, except that my father had a lot of traits that I exhibit. And if you take the current science and you look at, you know, like my actual DNA, it says in some places like maybe a little autistic, you know, like,
yeah, mine
and
does too.
I don't have
Yeah,
my
just the
dad's
flavor
DNA.
of it, right?
Well, no,
Just a dash of it.
not. But here's the thing, Dan. Not just the flavor, because here's the thing: if you could mimic good enough and you were smart, oh, you weren't one of those retarded kids. You didn't need the special services.
Right,
And
and the other,
I
my
don't.
daughter doesn't
Anybody
need
that
any.
objects to the term retarded, I'm using it in a historical sense.
Right, as a
No,
historical
you're
medical
fine there.
sense.
That's what I'm doing when I use the N word.
But also,
Hey,
That is
well,
also
no,
you
what
can
but
use
like,
the
I
N
use
word
when I
ever
use
you
the
fucking
N-word.
you
want,
can
bro.
you can say it whenever you want.
Right.
I also feel comfortable using the word retarded because even though I was judged smarter than the average bear, like from the second I hit kindergarten, everybody knew like, ah,
So I
special case over here.
I can't right now.
no, you're totally fine. I was just gonna say,
Walking through the
Dan,
door.
if you would like to go over how my daughter got diagnosed as autistic, I would totally love to, but I don't feel comfortable 100% doing it on where it's recorded
I don't
for
know. I'm
every.
just saying. Like, this is the claim I'm making based on the information that I've witnessed firsthand.
Can we just go
And
back to
every
being
time.
horny?
Yeah, I don't know. We got into
I
autism, but like, I
disagree,
don't.
and that's all I'm going to say about it right now.
What's that?
Yeah,
I
what
No,
said
about
you're
the
right.
link?
I don't have a degree. That is exactly why I'm skeptical.
no. I
What
said
about the link
I
between autism and this
disagree.
dick?
Oh, 'cause you would have me on the you don't have a degree. You're right. I don't, but like I'm okay with not having a degree on this one.
Well, no, and that's
There
what
is
I'm
a
saying. Like,
strategic link between autism and these nuts.
Haha. Got it.
excuse me, can you show a conclusive, you know, systematic relationship between autism and BOFA?
I cannot
Both for
admit.
what?
Both of these nuts!
Yeah.
You know what though?
Alright.
John used to claim that I was anti-psychiatry. I'm not against it, but I am skeptical of it.
Um,
Well, you're only skeptical
I
of it because you don't understand it.
I get it. I
that's
get it. Like I
I
also don't
am
believe
not.
schizophrenia is genetic. I believe schizophrenia is socially induced.
Does that change how to treat it?
Yeah, because if you actually want to treat well, it changes the fact that people will be like you can't cure schizophrenia. I kind of think you can prevent it though.
Let me skip to the end here and say, no, you're not going to sell ending capitalism for the schizophrenia.
Yeah, bro.
Well, just because I'm not going to be able to sell it doesn't mean I'm not right. I
I
think
don't
there's a
think
lot
you
of
understand
disorders between information
schizophrenia.
overload and
Okay.
information consumption that we just refuse to acknowledge as information problems because the source is heavily invested in making sure that those information problems continue. So
But
that's what
that's
I'm saying.
not schizophrenia, dude.
That I kind of believe it is.
No, that's not.
Mm,
That's just
I
dumb, retarded
I
Republicans. For
no,
yeah.
well,
They
no,
talk.
I,
Okay,
Mortal Kombat.
All right. Let's go over this. Let's go over some symptoms of schizophrenia and let's see whether or not they pass the check. Word salad. I meant for schizophrenia, not
that
for being in MAGA. Word salad.
wait,
Right there. Right
hold
alone.
on.
Word salad. Delusions of
Daniel
danger.
Cohen.
Delusions of
Daniel Cohen.
paranoid
Let's
delusions.
do the
Ooh, using your whole
MSC.
name.
Auditory
Let's do the
hallucination.
MSC.
I'm
Let's
doing.
do the MSC.
I don't know what that is, and I don't care. I'm going over the list
Mental
of symptoms.
status exam.
Mental status. Sure.
Are they oriented?
No, they are not oriented.
Okay.
They,
Not to
these people believe that voting
time,
works.
place, or person.
They are not. They believe that. Okay, first off, they believe ahistorical facts about birth orders that are impossible. Patton and Mussolini were born at the exact same fucking time, essentially in time, and they believe that Mussolini fathered George Patton in a different fucking country on a different fucking place. They're not oriented in reality. They're not anchored in it. They think that JFK is required to come back to reanoint Trump president so that they can go ahead and have a second Trump presidency where he will then ascend to messianic status. They have religious delusions. They have the whole fucking 9 yards. They are not oriented.
Okay,
Let's
I
keep
was
going.
gonna say like that was stuff that was later in the checklist, but okay.
Let's get the checklist, because oriented, no, never, haven't
Okay,
been.
so yeah, so they're not
I
oriented.
don't think they want to be called Orientals anymore.
In fact, they don't.
For sure.
Jink, you're amazing.
Well, this
Tank with the subtle Hitler in here.
the mental
Just
status
trying my best.
exam. I'm just going off of it as it's written. I'm not making any comment on it.
I'm
All right,
just saying,
how
no,
is
it's
their
demonstrable.
how is their hygiene?
How is their hygiene? You have seen them and smelled them. You tell me.
He's talking about MAGA, right?
Talking about MAGA people, rating it poor, in my opinion.
Okay.
We're not bathing a lot. We're not eating proper. We're not eating with proper
we're
utensils.
not there yet.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
I'm sorry.
Grooming. So like what
They
are they
are
wearing
targeting
and how
shit
are
tons of
they like
children.
done up?
I knew he's gonna do that.
They are targeting shit tons of children.
Okay, so you're saying like their manner of dress is exceptional?
Their manner of dress is their manner of dress exceptional? You tell me, guy who you tell me, guy who dressed up like a fucking Viking to go walk around DC in the winter.
Okay, so
I will dress however I goddamn want. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wanted to pick up some bitches afterwards. That's all.
Way
I
too
guess
many
like
trench,
a goddamn Viking.
And
I got
I'm gonna
way
I'm gonna
too many open
insert
trench coats in the window.
I'm gonna insert some personal bias right here. I think that question is a little biased.
in and out and in and out.
I'm gonna insert my own
My
personal bias. I'm
body.
glad it is. I'm glad it's biased. There should be some sort of standard. Like, you're not flashing your nipples to children all through public. Which, if you look at the MAGA people, they got to make sure that they're wearing shirts that are too small to flash their nipples at fucking children. These are grown men who are obsessed with making sure to flash their nipples at genitalia at children. They're sex offenders.
Okay, so
I'm tired of pretending MAGA is not a group of sex offenders. I am tired of fucking pretending.
Yeah.
Schizophrenia.
Well, no, and I don't.
Nipples aren't.
Make sure we're still going on Twitter. While you're here,
I'm gonna take a stand right now.
I'm gonna fucking cancel you, bitch.
You can try to
Twitch
cancel
is
me,
still
but if
running,
you're obsessed with
NJPig.
showing body parts that we would normally socially consider unacceptable, and you're specifically targeting children to show them, yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
But if I don't wear a bra, who the fuck cares?
It's not what I said. What I said is these are grown men. Are you a grown man who's making sure to show his nipples to children?
I could be.
Because you're getting offended when that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying that grown white men should not be targeting children to show their nipples to go out of their way to show their nipples to.
Is it
you're
okay if it's grown white women?
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, what if it's white women showing their nipples?
Grown white women.
I don't think they should, but I don't have that. Like, I don't even see that in the MAGA people. I don't see
I
that
don't
in the
know, man.
MAGA
You just
people.
you just cancel all of professional wrestling then.
They're not going out. Is that why they're shirtless? Is there like if they like I have to show children my nipples, or does their job require them not to wear a shirt?
So
Nobody
are we
requires
talking
it.
nipples? Yeah, we're talking nipple. So you're talking like
I'm
full
what I
breast
am saying.
titties
I can't
out.
believe.
What did you say?
Okay,
Dan
all right.
is
First off,
talking
define groomer.
about
All of you
who
right
is
now
the
who are like,
target
"What are you
audience.
saying, Dan? What are you saying, Daniel? What are you
No.
saying?" Okay, define a groomer. What's a pedophile?
Let me.
Huh?
But
You know.
can I
You know
raise
the
my
answer.
hand?
No,
Can I raise my hand?
no, because everybody's giving me shit right now. No.
No,
No, we
I'm
are
gonna
addressing
defend
this.
you, but fine, fucker.
We are
Yeah,
addressing this right the
clarification
fuck
is
now.
not giving you shit.
It's weird that you need clarification suddenly. You're like, hold the fucking phone. I suddenly agree with everything MAGA likes to do, like expose their genitals to kids. Excuse me. I think they should have the right to do so. What the fuck podcast are we on? Huh?
I
Are we
thought I
on
was
Dave
gonna support
Rubin's
you,
Tower of Power? What
but
are we on
fine,
here
fuck
right now,
you.
people? No,
Are
we're on
there
Sons of Freedom.
are there MAGA wang showers?
Are there what?
Like, serious question. I didn't know this. Are there MAGA wang showers? I didn't
Yeah.
know
I'm
that.
over here laughing my fucking ass off, dude.
There are a ton of MAGA Wang showers. Every time,
Everybody's a
here's
MAGA.
how you, every time, here's how you identify them. So when you're on Twitter, and
Guy.
one of them's like, "I think you're a groomer," like right there, you know that guy's exposes genitals to kids.
Yeah,
When you're in the
like
middle of like people should have healthcare, and he's like, "I think you're a groomer," he's looking for a friend. That's not
When
an
the lady
attack.
doctor goes
He's
too much.
trying to throw up a
he's
signal to get a
looking
friend.
for a friend.
Yeah, he's trying to be like, "Do you do it like I do? Because I want to hang out with you later and show the kids with you." And you're like,
Fuck the
"No."
kids. I mean, fuck kids, right?
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, am I
Right?
right, guys? Am I right?" Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, these are grown men who go out of their way to dress in a certain way and present themselves to children, much like they accuse drag queens of. And that's how I know they're doing it, because they make sure to claim drag queens are doing that very thing. So obviously they're out there trying to show their cocks
Dr.
to kids.
Disrespect though is dressing up and you know,
In flamboyant costumes to perform their gender and expose themselves to children. That's MAGA in a nutshell. Oh shit, Dan's right yet again. I know, it's painful to be right all the time, but I somehow can manage. I'll
Who
wait.
wants to see my
Somebody
dick?
refute that.
No, that's my biggest problem too. Is just my constant being right all the time. So I
It
understand.
hurts.
It's a pain.
I like how Jake has gone from being the person who would negate me no matter what, just to negate me, to being like, nah, dude, you right. Dan's spitting.
Listen, I have always had the very firm stance
Anywho,
of being right,
yeah.
and in this case, you're definitely right. Every time I've ever heard a right winger be like, "That person's grooming children," all I can hear in my head is,
I'm trying to
"Man,
groom
that person is definitely grooming children."
yeah, that person is
Matt
sexually
Gates.
assaulting
Well, that
children.
that follows the general rule of everything of them, every accusation being a confession for them.
Yeah.
projection.
Yeah, it's projection.
100%.
So anyway,
100% projection.
Let's go back through the schizophrenia. We have weird
five,
dress
Jake.
choice.
High
We
five.
have weird grooming habits. Like, I don't know, not showering and drinking your own piss. And, like, consuming weird chemicals. Okay, so I think that
Well,
one's
I'm
up.
just
No, like weird
Well,
supplements, which is our chemicals. but
Colloidal silver.
We need to just
Fish
say
tank
that
cleaner.
like
Horse
people
pills.
stop doing that
Come on.
shit.
Come on. Like, I don't need, like, no, it's okay. I can just be right.
no, and here's the thing: you hit every note right, but you're a fucking asshole because you wouldn't let somebody back you up. Fuck you, Dan Cohen.
Nobody's backing me up. Everyone's like, I gotta tussle with Dan right now. I gotta prove him wrong.
No,
I gotta prove him wrong about
trying to-
schizophrenia.
I was trying
Just
to
laughing.
support you earlier, and you fucking shut me down.
Well,
Yeah,
fuck
MVP.
you.
We're just. I'm just over here fucking with them. Well, how about you?
every one of you. God damn it. Again, not anti-psychiatry. I am skeptical on certain things. That is what
Well, you
I
should
want
be
to portray.
skeptical of a lot of things. That's not.
Skeptical on the whole affair. Again, I apologize, but I was receiving a lot of vicious attacks.
I don't think MAGA is human.
No, they 100% are human. They're the worst part of human.
Well, it's not.
They're
It
like
can't
some
be
kind of
both. They
mind
can't be
jack
schizophrenics and
some kind
dogs.
of
So I gotta
mind
pick
jack.
one and stick with that lane. I think I'm gonna stick with schizophrenics.
I think the one thing that I agree with, like I do agree with Dan, but the one thing that I also agree with is that a lot of times people like to swing too hard in the other direction of
Treat them like
feeling
people.
that science. No, this is not about MAGA. Feeling like science, medical science, and stuff like that is infallible,
Yeah.
which in turn leads to like the over
No. Go ahead.
over prescribing of like ADHD medication to children in like the mid to late 90s and early 2000s, or all kinds of stuff like that. So like whenever something does come up where someone's like, hey, I'm skeptical of this, especially for people who work in the medical industry, that is just immediately like, oh, what are you talking about? Of course, no, you're wrong. That can't be possible. What are you talking about? But then, like, there's history
It's
shows.
No.
Just got
Hang on. But
Let him
history
cook.
shows
All
that
right,
there
I'm
are
tucking my tits. Please move forward.
There are very often times where things change, and being skeptical is not the same as negating science or medical progress. It's not the same thing. Yet people who work in medical fields and people who are interested in that and read up on that tend to act like skepticism and denial are the same thing, which they are not. So I will
unilaterally. Yeah.
Yeah, I will agree. I will back him up on that.
Yeah, they'd be like just skeptical as to why Jews rule the world, and
Well,
it's
look,
downhill
the
from there.
crazy thing about conspiracy theories is that some of them are real.
But that's the point. That's the other point, though, is that skepticism isn't always conspiracy, and I think that's another thing that I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but that's another thing that gets conflated. Is like, oh, I'm skeptical of this thing. Like, let's just take like what he was saying, psychiatry. I'm skeptical of psychiatry in certain instances. He said in certain instances multiple times because he chose his words very carefully. That can still be conflated as conspiracy or denial or anything like that, especially to people in the medical field, which I don't agree with, because then that doesn't leave room for progress. That doesn't leave room for even like research, because then it's like, well, why are we going to do it if it's already infallible and perfect?
The goal is to maintain hegemony, is what it is. Like, that's why you don't allow that skepticism, because you can't reach the points that they've reached without a healthy dose of skepticism, because otherwise you'd still believe like all mental illness is because there's a little devil in your head rolling around telling you to do shit, which is like, that's patently false.
That also runs back to the whole idea of like, oh, we're so much more like intelligent now and civilized, and back then they believed in these wacky things and they're crazy and dumb, and can you believe they thought that? When 100 years from now they're gonna be thinking the same thing about us. But right now in this time period, we don't feel like that. We feel like we're better than that. So whenever the skepticism comes up, then it's just treated like, oh, well, they don't believe this, or they're skeptical of this, so they must want to just start bloodletting everyone again, or, attaching leeches to wounds or something like that. It's just like, it's not the same thing.
I will say
I have to use the facilities. I will be back.
Yeah, and have fun with it.
I will.
There you go.
You could have just did it. You didn't have to say anything.
Defense number one.
I know.
Apologize
this is
for
an airport. I
aid.
don't have to announce my departure, but god damn it, it felt so good.
Have a good trip.
Yeah, happy
I
with.
kind of wanted to know.
Yeah, at least we know it's regular, right?
So I want to apologize for shutting down any assistance that I did not immediately recognize. Say that now. Throw that out.
Another white man trying to talk over everyone.
That is no smoke without fire on that one, is all I'm saying. But no, I always have to defend this point because, like, I do.
Sometimes white bitches need to sit the fuck down and listen.
That's exactly what I needed to do. But I don't. Number one, I don't want to derail. Number two, I don't want people putting words in my mouth on this because I have to be very careful on what I say. But I do firmly believe that schizophrenia is socially oriented, and I'm very skeptical on the scaling of autism as well. I think a lot of people get misdiagnosed in the sense that they'll be like, they're a little bit weird. So obviously they're autistic, and then they can just throw it away and begin the medication process. That's it.
I've seen that kind of start to happen in the medical field, where people are starting to worry that the
But you
spectrum,
can't
the autism
medicate
spectrum
autism.
You can calm
is
people.
too broad.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. That's
Well,
still...
that's a whole different problem with the medical system.
Yeah, but that's that's why you declare them autistic, so you have more of a population to do that too.
Oh, people that you're allowed to abuse in the name of science.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah, and
yeah.
again, like, these
Of
are people
course.
that I think, like, if you just dialed the clock back a little bit, they'd be weird, or they'd just be like, that's just math isn't a skill they're good at, or they're just not a good public speaker. Like, I think that's a lot of time where they push it.
Even
Or
if
they're the
they
best at
are
math.
autistic, right? They're the fucking best at some shit.
Rain
But
Man.
even if
Yeah.
they are autistic, why does branding them a certain way? What does that matter?
Everyone loves a
Like,
label.
Yeah.
like, well, no, but like when we talk about labeling, like one of the things I tell people I work with is that diagnoses aren't true or false. They're more or less useful. So if you've got a particular diagnosis, here's what that says about like what you go through. And here are the things that they tell professionals to do with that. Is that helpful? If that's more or less helpful, roll with it. It like once again doesn't mean it's true or false. It's more or less helpful. And if it
I have a
helps you to look at things as a particular kind of construct, because that gives you a pathway for like what to do with it, yay. Right?
I think on that positive note.
Yeah, it's nicer than my, I think them bitches is out to get us.
Them bitches may in fact be out to get us.
Well, in a lot of circumstances, them bitches is out to get us. So, like, I don't know why it's like suddenly it's like, that's where I can't say it. Like, you know.
Well, I am bitches, and I
It's
am
not
out to
how
get
you
you.
say it.
Fact.
It's where you say it.
It is where you say it too. You definitely shouldn't say it in front of the police. If you're like, I think them science bitches are out to get me, they get real weirded out by you. They start getting handsy with the guns.
True.
Yeah, but no, that's why, like, again, like, I don't voice it too often, but I'm very skeptical of it because, like, everything in our era was focused on trying to be happy, and then, like, when the End of History project clearly failed, it became trying to manage your disappointment and your expectations. So it shifted from toxic positivity in psychiatry about how to be happy. It shifted from that, when that was a failed project, it shifted to how to avoid misery. And it was just trying to drive you towards ennui. So anything that deviates from that drive towards ennui is labeled negatively. But, like, shouldn't you try to avoid that ennui? Shouldn't you try to have a life of meaning, to be like, just be like carte blanche? Like, yeah, you should be comfortable with the fact that life is meaningless. Like, what a lazy and depressing form of nihilism. And they just replace everything. You replace everything with depression now into, like, it's odd. Your brain's weird. Before it was like, oh, you're sad and upset. You're anxious. You're nervous. Whatever. One of these negative emotions. Now it's like, yeah, you're those things, but it's because you're neurodivergent, which is code word for, like, a type of retarded that doesn't actually disable you from society, that you can extract labor out of. Like, again, I'm going to use that term in the classic sense now, since we've opened the door. That's the point of that diagnosis. So I'm skeptical by the sheer volume, because, like, the
I agree. I use
categorical.
the N word like that. I'm just kidding.
We already made that joke, though.
I know. It's a
Yeah.
callback.
It's not a callback. It's just repeating the same joke. Because the callback form would be, it's like that other word I use historically. It's all right. I'm a comedy writer. I know these things. Don't laugh. I am. You're like, I got my other steps on here, not the slow down, but the other one.
Now I
Slow
wish
down.
I would have ganged up on you. Fuck.
That's what I call your brother when he falls. I know that one's miserable. That's probably the worst thing I've said all night. Look at that. But we change. The point is, in the past 10 minutes, that's not a callback.
I'm no longer like that.
Yeah, in the past 10 minutes, I've changed. I want to apologize for anything I said that was hurtful.
Yeah, over the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'll keep going. But yeah, that's my concern. And again, like, I can just be wrong, right? I could just easily be wrong. That's really not, like, shocking. At some point, I'm going to be wrong, and I could be wrong on this. But you have a depression, and you have, like, a downward diagnosis. A downward treatment plan from trying to be happy into this kind of more moving into malaise and boredom. As you move into that, you have to explain these same conditions somehow. So it looks like they choose to opt to explain it as like, well, it's because your brain's weird. It's still you individually. There's nothing wrong with society in any of these problems. It's all you, and it's because of your weird brain. Which, like, that doesn't sound very helpful. I'm
Well,
not
it's like I've
hearing how
said
that
a
actually
million
helps.
times. You can't, like, mindfulness your way out of homelessness.
Right.
Like, you just can't.
You can't, but I don't think you can mindfulness your way out of, like, you can't mindful, like, I think you can, well, no, let me rephrase what I'm about to say, right? I think you can mindful your way out of being schizophrenic if your schizophrenia is derived from social and political conditions and not derived from just abject brain death due to, like, a fucking unlucky roll of the dice.
Unfortunately, there have never been randomized controlled studies in that.
No, why?
Because,
They're not allowed to.
well, right, because our federal government is funding most of that shit. And, like, why would they want to let anybody know that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, like the answer to schizophrenia is for people not to have to worry about where they're going to live or whether they have a next meal coming.
Not even that far. I mean, just literally, like, you can identify the schizophrenic by if he votes for a Democrat or Republican and believes that it is an effective point of change.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
if they
but
believe their own ideology.
some people have a psychotic break early. What are we going to do for, like, the age 17 and below?
Right. Well, and then again, I'm not saying all schizophrenia is caused by. I'm saying that we lump them together. Like, and I firmly believe this is one of those things I firmly believe, and this is where I disagree, like, vehemently with psychiatry and psychology. Okay, whichever field best covers the diagnosis of schizophrenia. They would argue that it's entirely derived from the individual and their, like, somewhat of their material conditions and geographic conditions. I argue that there are two types of schizophrenics. You have your schizophrenics who are derived from genetics and in just purely environment, where those cross meet into triggering that reaction in the body, and the body goes down the path of schizophrenia, unfortunately, and they become unwell. I also believe that there is a path to schizophrenia that is a combination of your geography and your sociopolitical status, i.e., your politics. And, like, again, like, if we were to go through it, liberals are better groomed than conservatives on the whole. But look at what liberals believe, and you tell me with a straight face that they're not fucking just rampantly delusional and they're not driving themselves insane with reality. Like, I believe that those people, like, your hardcore liberals and your hardcore conservatives, like your MAGA crowd or your fucking like ride or die Joe Bidenites, those people are schizophrenic. They actually should not have the responsibilities of adulthood and voting because they are unwell. They need a treatment plan to get them out of it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Joe Biden did great last night. That's all I'm going to say.
Yo, Biden
I have
crushed it. He didn't shit
real-world
himself on
shit.
stage. He crushed it.
I have real world shit that I feel the need to comment on.
Shoot.
But this is not the venue. I don't think.
Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, though, that is what I'm doing.
Well, because, like, okay, if kids break early, like,
I
before
I
age
have to head out. I love
18,
you all.
Yeah, take her easy.
Bye, LD.
come back soon.
Will do.
The thing is, like, all right, I guess I'm gonna out myself a little bit. Like, I work with people who are experiencing their first psychotic episode if it occurs between the ages of 15 and 30. And some of them are drug induced, for sure.
Yeah,
But
I guess that's the third path. Let me clarify.
well,
There's the third
no.
path.
But, like,
Yeah.
okay. So there's and I'm sorry, like, because our catchment age is between 15 and 30, and I guess I'm just like a disrespectful Gen Xer. I call these people kids. Because to me, like, even the older ones, they are kids to me. And this is within the city of Philadelphia and people who are Medicaid funded, to give you a little background. Overall, you also need to know that these young folks are like, if humanity has a future, like, they are it. Like, they are so bright and creative and talented, and just I'm so honored to be able to work with them. So you've got these kids that come in, and, like, some of them it's drug induced, and they're like, oh, I need to, like, not smoke spice or K2 because that shit makes me crazy. Like, smoke real weed. All right, problem solved. On you go. Some of these kids are predisposed to psychosis, and something triggered it, and for whatever reason, like, that's something that's probably going to follow them for a while, right? But then there's this giant third part that what the hospital labeled psychosis was their fucking reaction to trauma. And that's a huge part. It's a huge part. Because as a human being, when you are exposed to shit that just does not make sense and is terrible, like, sometimes your brain just it's not in connection with the reality that you and me experience anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, like, there a certain percentage of these kids legit gonna need, like, psych services forever. A certain percentage, it was like they smoked some bad dope, and they ended up in the hospital, and eventually they figure out, like, oh, like, well, because what I always tell them is, like, oh, as a healthcare professional, I can't recommend that you smoke anything, but look into vaping and edibles, and get it as close to the plant as you can. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah. So, like, yeah. So there's kids who are like, it was drug induced, and they're like, oh, I'm not gonna do that shit anymore. And lo and behold, like, they quit their meds and they're fucking fine. And then they, like, finish college, and or, like, start, like, HVAC school or whatever. And because they're not getting high off of, like, quasi legal shit that nobody knows what it is, they do fine. They do fine.
I do not recommend being gas station sober to people.
Well, no, and that's the thing, because I for years, because I saw what like K2 and Spice did to people. And it was so hard for me, like when I was working in Washington, because Washington passed rec law while I lived there. They already had medical, but they passed rec law so that, like, you know, any swinging dick basically could like open up a shop on the, like a dispensary on the corner and be like, hey, we're here for business. And I would talk to some of these folks. I'm like, dude, like, don't fucking buy that under the counter shit. Like, the fuck? Like, real weed is legal. And it was like, oh, well, this is cheaper, or it's what my friend brought, or like, it was a whole different kind of mindset. It was like, when you're living that life where you're just gonna do whatever.
Dude, you're talking to the wrong person. I watched somebody do a line of fucking honeycomb. And yes, I'm talking.
Right, no. But like, the point I'm trying to make is that there are points in a lot of people's lives where they will do substances that they know will make them feel shitty, but they just want to feel different. They just want to not feel whatever they are feeling right now.
Word.
Right? And so my providing that education is like, dude, like, I get it, but also not this. Not this. Right?
Yeah.
But going back to what Dan was talking about. All right, so there's the sick motherfuckers who had a predisposition and they're going to be sick. There are the people who are like basically baseline okay. They had a bad trip and they have figured their shit out, and that's going to be fine. There's a slight band of people who have like a mental illness other than a thought disorder, like bipolar, and they get psychotic when they're super spun up, or people with depression, and like if they're super super depressed they get psychotic. That's a tiny basket. We're just gonna set that to the side. The majority of these folks, from my observation, they have experienced fucking trauma that no one has ever addressed, and I don't know if we can adequately address as long as the system here is like it is. Because like I said, like, you can't meditate your way out of homelessness. You can't do grounding exercises to take care of the fact that like you haven't eaten in over 24 hours. Like, you just can't. And that is the
Word.
That is the sad reality. And so it's not that psychiatry doesn't have a place in my observation and opinion. Psychiatry 100% has a place. The problem is that most people who finally make it, because it's hard to get to see a psychiatrist, the people that finally make it there, a lot of them, a psychiatrist is not what they fucking need. Because the problem is trauma that needs to be addressed, as well as just basic Maslow's hierarchy of need. And our bullshit American system is not set up for that. That's all I gotta say.
All right then.
Yeah.
I gotta step back, guys.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
seems
have
like
to
you get
say
a
on
place
that.
with any.
Pressing note.
Dan's like, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up.
I
mean-
gotta now take care of little Suki's mom discourse on the old Twitter.
Suck it, suck it.
Yeah.
Oh, what's she doing now?
See you guys.
Good night. I
Good night.
haven't been keeping.